I can hear something.
I've got booze.
Yeah, I can hear you just. Okay. The sound level's okay? Okay, what about Di?
Yeah, I'm on as well. Yeah.
Just in the nick of time. Okay. No one's there. Luckily Jeff speaks Mandarin. Yuko Suzuki. Welcome back here. Hello everybody and welcome to day 2 of the Sharks Qingdao Sevens here in sunny Qingdao. Huge day, 28 matches ahead of us, and we're going to kick things off this morning in the women's quarterfinals. We have Japan against Singapore. They're out there, and I can tell you it's already quite hot here in Qingdao after a rather cool and wet drizzly day yesterday. We've got the opposite now. You just can't get it right, can you? It's plenty of good games today. We had 24 matches yesterday, some fantastic, some a little ropey, and the weather had a lot to do with that. And we're off in this first quarterfinal today, leg 1 of the Asian 7 series. Who will come out victorious today in the women's and men's tournaments as we build towards the Olympic qualifiers for the Asian teams during November in Hong Kong for the men's and Hong Kong and Japan, 2 legs for the women's. Everybody's got one eye on that, but for now, let's play what you see in front of you. And it's going to be a tough old day for Singapore, you would imagine, with Japan running in their first try through Yume Okuroda. Makes it 5-0 already after just less than a minute. And Yuka Kanimatsu with the conversion. She had a bit of a mixed day yesterday. That one's over. And after this game we'll have Hong Kong versus Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan versus Sri Lanka, and China versus Thailand before we move into the men's. No. Yeah, we move into the men's quarterfinals. I can. If you're tuning in from Singapore or Japan, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Your team's out there battling away. Saw some good rugby from the Japanese yesterday.
And what a contrast already, Booth, in terms of the weather conditions. It's warm, it's hot, it's humid, and we're going to see a different game of sevens throughout the 28 matches on the second day of the tournament. It's going to be a pulsating day of rugby, but certainly depleting, and already walking up those stairs into the commentary spot. Sweat is pouring down my forehead.
I didn't want to say anything. It is hot, and we need to get this aircon working. We're in a glass house right here, and as we see our second try there to Japan, it's a brace already for Sri Lankan Japanese representative Bogidrao Mandavi. I got that right. A tongue twister. And there's another good kick, and already Japan out to 14-0 after just 3 minutes. And I feel for the teams because underneath us, where the teams have been sitting, is bathed in sunshine here. It's 9:15 in the morning, and if they're smart, they won't be sitting down here. They'll be on the other side until that sun gets over the lip of the stand here. Block on by Singapore. Turns into a penalty. Player ahead of the ball. Japan have another chance. Really just to sharpen their skills, sharpen the saw ahead of the tougher games this afternoon.
Japan stung a little bit on day one yesterday, Bruiser, with a great and a fine win by Kazakhstan in the last pool game. Japan recently winning the World Rugby World Qualifiers in Dublin, beating Ireland in the final, so they wouldn't have expected yesterday to have lost to Kazakhstan. Fine try by Japan, pushing their lead out to 19-0 with a conversion to come. Should be an easy quarter-final fixture for this team. As I say, it's very successful 2 weeks ago in Dublin, going through the tournament for World Women's 7 Series qualification, undefeated, beating a strong Ireland team on home soil in the dying minutes of that final, and indeed being hurt yesterday by a fantastic second half performance by Kazakhstan.
Just looking at the weather report, we've seen 23 degrees. It feels about 10 degrees hotter than that. 83% humidity and just 6 km/h wind. But see the flags just with a tiny wee flutter.
Certainly not getting 23 degrees where we are.
No.
It's more like 33 degrees, as you said. And it's going to be a tough day at the office for all the players and officials, actually.
And the commentators. Already looking forward to lunch.
We are actually located at the top of the stadium, and as Bruce succinctly put it, in a glass house. Got a wall around us. Do with a couple of sets of tomatoes to ripen up over the period of today.
Beautiful stadium this, as you can probably see when you get a wide shot. It's beautiful running track. And at one end of the ground, the west end, some sort of administration building, which looks like the public library in Hong Kong. It's a beautiful, out of place building. A function has been held. The local football team, this is the home ground for the local football team in Qingdao. The stadium was opened in 1933, Guy. Wow. It's not, can't read the age. This has been completely refurbished. It's a decent look.
As you said, the town has got a non-Chinese feel to it. I mean that in the nicest possible sense, in terms of it's got a lot of history. There seems to be a lot of German influence architecture. We are staying at an area of parkland and open space, and certainly you can see why they chose the venue for the yachting events during the 2008 Olympics, Beijing Olympics. Pinto hosting that, but it's, as you stay here a little bit longer, you've got to get a feel for the city. And
there's a fourth try to Japan through Chisato Yoku. There's a capacity, that's half time, capacity of 20,525. It has its own Wikipedia page. That's half time. Japan 26, Singapore 0.
And here we go. Second half of the first game on the second day of the opening tournament of the Asian 7 series, the women's event kicking off the second day here in Qingdao, China Sevens. Japan versus Singapore. Japan leading at half time, 26-0. And getting early possession in the second half. Lovely little break there. Great work by Singapore to get back and make the tackle, but quick ball trading runner in the way there of suspect of offside there, trailing runner, Singaporean player, but not spotted by referee. So it's a scrum down, knock on judged, Singapore ball. As we said earlier, such a contrast to yesterday, a relatively cool day, lots of rain and drizzle turning up this morning. Temperatures beginning to reach the late 20s and will bounce up into the 30s as the day goes on, so it's going to be a dry, hot day with high humidity. Complete contrast for the coaches and the players to deal with as we move through this 28-game day towards the climax and the finals around between 7 and 8 o'clock this evening. So it's head and ball to Singapore. Offside there. Great scrum by the Japanese team. Quick, keen after yesterday's defeat against Kazakhstan to start the day well. Taken in by Yakutu. Great continuity, opportunity here. Singapore not giving up, but a great burst there. Lovely little footwork. And another score, the 5th try for Archie Meal. Lovely footwork there, didn't choose to push the ball wide. Footwork, lovely outside break. Stepping off her right foot and adding to the 26 points scored in the first half. So an early score for Japan, taking the lead out to 33-0. 2 minutes into the second half of this opening fixture of day 2. Matsu adding the 2 points. Matsu to restart the game. Singapore will be looking to dig deep here. They'll play off the minor places. Mentioned it yesterday's commentary. There's everything to play for here as they build towards the Olympic qualifiers. Great tackle. Japan stung yesterday, and it seems to have made it come out very, very determined. Great little pick up and sniped on the blind side by Suzuki. And 6th try being added by Suzuki. That's Mitsakaki Suzuki. 2 Suzuki girls on the field. Yoko currently second in the points and try scoring from day 1. Sure they are sisters. So Misaki Suzuki adding the points. Oh, more fine attempt at a conversion from out wide and just shaving the post on the left hand side. Fine attempt by Komatsu. Rushing back, keen to get on with this game. As I said yesterday, leading at 10-0 at half time against their close rivals Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan coming out second half and playing some fine rugby to secure a 12-10 win and stinging probably currently the Asian number 1s into a bit of action. There would have been a lot of analysis last night and a lot of honesty within the Japanese camp, and probably as a result of that loss to Kazakhstan, perhaps a bit of complacency after their fine win in Ireland. Certainly teams will be wary of it. Talking to the Hong Kong coach Anna Richards last night, and they will be aware of their due to meet Japan in the semi-final if they get past the next game, which is Japan, Hong Kong versus Uzbekistan. Next game up in the women's quarterfinals, early here in the Qingdao Stadium. Great step on the outside. So Singapore girls still working exceptionally hard. This has been a feature of their game in day one, never giving up, lots of team camaraderie, lots of effort, and never giving up. 2 minutes left on the clock and still looking to cover tackle, but some great footwork there, and 2 or 3 girls beaten. Fantastic footwork there by number 4 Suzuki, Yoko Suzuki. As I just mentioned, second at the moment, probably now surpassing Agipoon after day one. Certainly levelling the try scoring stakes, but conversion being added by Komatsu. Taking Japan's lead out to 45-0 with 1:30 left on the clock of this opening game. But what's been pleasing, I suppose, from a Singaporean point of view and from their coaches, the girls, the Singaporean girls, worked exceptionally hard throughout every game. Not the success they desire, but I'm sure if they keep working as they move towards the bowl and plate competitions now, they'll be there or thereabouts with their hard work. They had a fine win against Sri Lanka at the end of day one yesterday, securing their first win of the tournament. I'm sure they'll dust themselves down after this quarter-final and then focus on the bowl competition later in the day. So head and feed to Japan. Oh, judged to be crooked. So a late opportunity for Singapore to build a try-scoring opportunity. Lovely little show and go by number 5, Samantha Teo. Samantha Teo, prominent player in the Singaporean team over the last few years, and got to know Sam when I was coach of Hong Kong. She was our liaison officer at the Singapore Sevens many years ago. Watched her progress and her desire to keep Singaporean rugby at the top end of the game, and now she works hard away from the field as well, and keeping these girls together and working hard for the Singaporean Rugby Union within women's rugby. So it's great to see her still representing the country with pride and leading from the front. And so, as I say, there's Samantha Teo taking the ball up, looking for that consolation score, I guess I'd say, but again, indicative of the teamwork and effort of the Singaporean team, never giving up, still looking for a late score, and unfortunately ball spilled. What will Japan do? Will they just stick it off and be happy with the 45 points, or are they going to play? And so they're going to play. Again, Singapore working hard to defend and not to give any more points away. Advantage being played, and there's the advantage over there, but again, little palm off, and fantastic palm off, and great pace being shown by number 8, Takuki. And there's the final score of the game. But again, the Singaporean girls never giving up, chasing hard. And that will be the final score of the opening game, taking Japan up to 50 points with a conversion to come from Komatsu. Komatsu with the attempt, unfortunately pushed left, and referee will bring that one to a conclusion. So a fine performance by Japan. Japan finishing day 2 with an uncustomary loss to Kazakhstan, but finishing day 1 with a customary loss, but opening day 2 with a fantastic performance and win to set themselves up nicely for a long day in the sun. So first game out, Japan 50, Singapore 0.